welcome back to the Holy Gator, and it's been a while since our last episode.
It's been 84 years.
It's good to be back, though, right?
Alrighty. Oh, man.
All right, so where do we want to start off? Do we want to go with player movement or coaching changes or bowl game? Bowl game?
Yeah, we can go bowl game.
All right, you want to lead off with Florida?
Sure, because it didn't last very long. Yeah, no, UCF, it only took our entire coaching staff to be fired. The worst year of Florida football we've had in quite a while. And a terrible quarterback to finally beat us. So I guess UCF can hang their hats on that. What do you freaking do? But yeah, thankfully football season's over. That's all I can say.
How'd they do? I keep forgetting the final score.
I forgot the final score as well. All I know is I think we lost by 14, maybe 10. Either way, it was a 2-score game.
Yeah, but Florida put up a fight and
then they didn't.
Yeah, but hey, it was your send-off for a new
Literally
era.
Everybody that was on the staff in previous years.
True. That and this is now the beginning of the AK-12 era.
AR-15, but that's
AR-15. Whatever.
The beginning of the Napier era.
Yeah, I've been playing too many video games over the past couple days. But and on Notre Dame's side, if anyone watching caught my watch along, oh yeah, that went great. It went from we're up 28-7 at half, or 28-7, and then 28-14 at halftime. We should have at least tried to score because there was about 45 seconds left, and then it went from we're still up a couple scores to wait, it's the fourth quarter and they're leading. What are we doing?
What happened?
Yeah, so couldn't fight back. It ended up being, I want to say, about 35-28 and. Or something like that. I think it actually was a 2-score game, but it sucked. But it ushers in a new era for us too, the Freeman era, and it is good to have that era in.
Yeah, definitely. Which do y'all still have Marcus Freeman? Has anything happened with Marcus Freeman?
Not really. He's still sticking with head coach. He's made a couple moves, but other than that, he's just chilling, really. Well, between coaching moves and he's taking a big role with recruiting, which that's just kind of the guy he is.
Yeah, and then did you even watch the All-American Bowl or no?
I caught bits and pieces. I didn't watch the full thing.
Okay, I didn't remember anybody committing to Notre Dame, but I also didn't know if you had any Notre Dame. I think you had a Notre Dame commit playing. I think he was like a big role. I thought it was a QB, but
we had 10 signees, 10 or 11 signees in that bowl game.
Yeah,
it was a good game. A lot of those guys showed some promise for the next level. Is there any Florida guys on it?
I was about to say I can say the same with Florida because on the east side we had Devin Moore, the safety who committed to us over Notre Dame, who had an interception. We had on the west side defensive tackle Devin McClellan, who got to the quarter, who pretty much ruined the quarterback. Like he was getting to that man a lot, and then. The first signee of the All-American Bowl, it was Trevor Etienne, a 4-star running back who you might know his brother Travis Etienne. So yeah, it was really freaking awesome seeing Trevor Etienne commit to Florida. And with that commit, I believe that pushed Florida into the top 25 in recruiting.
That's good for Florida with a new
Before we
coach
were
coming
like,
in.
yeah, before we were like 75. I think, yeah, this coach has done a lot more, which we'll get to later. But this coach has done a lot.
I will say there was one signee I really had my eye on for, or actually 2 or 3, but the one big guy was Tobias Merryweather, 6'4", around I want to say probably around 200, and the dude's a freak. He plays very well. He had some moments, and I'm proud, and I can't wait for him to come in. The only receiver commit that actually committed and signed, because we lost to Maureen Walker to Michigan, and then I forget where Williams went, but he went somewhere in that area, Big 12 country. But then there was Aiden Gobira, the defensive end, who had some big plays, and he had a sack here and there. I know he got to the quarterback at least once or twice. And then the last one, if I can find it, was Tyson Ford, who didn't have a big game, but that's to be expected. He wasn't playing a huge role.
Yeah. Sorry, I just saw my fish take a dive bomb. I got really confused. But yeah. So
What a dive bomb.
I just saw sushi start dropping. I was like, what's happening? He does that sometimes, and it threw me off guard.
Yeah, sometimes it'd be like that.
I was like, go on, young buck, go on.
All right, so is Florida had any transfers in or out, or guys that have said their stand?
We had one guy, I believe Mohamed Diabate, transfer to Utah. But we had a lot of guys. We had a lot of guys transfer. I know we had, I think he was like 6'8", 325 pounds, offensive lineman from UL transfer to Florida. I think we had another offensive lineman from UL transfer to Florida. So we've had a couple transfers, but mainly it's just been kind of recruits, official visits. I know our recruits have been recruiting other recruits like Shamar James and Kamari Wilson have been recruiting Harold Perkins, the number 1 in defensive lineman or inside what the hell? Inside linebacker. I just completely created a new position.
Don't worry, I've done the same thing.
Yeah. He who's been number 1 inside linebacker to Florida, and he does have an official visit the 14th, I believe, of January. So yeah, that's gonna be interesting. It's a lot of interesting recruits, and Napier's just building an army. It's gonna be fun to watch. Definitely excited for this Napier era.
Yeah, I bet. And on Notre Dame side, we had Jay Bramblett transfer out as a grad transfer. I believe he's going to Bama to be closer to his family. Yeah, it was Bama. And the reason is because we stole a punter from Wake Forest. Surprise, surprise, Wake Forest can't have nice things. And then we had linebacker Mars Lufau transfer out, Shane Simon, although Shane Simon's old news. And then offensive lineman Quinn Carroll also transferred out. He went to Minnesota. I think that was another closer to home move. But other than that, it's really been quiet on a transfer front. And the only one that's come in was Brandon Joseph from Northwestern. And that's very, very good because he can take Hamilton's spot and can do pretty much the same thing in a way, except he's a little more of a straight up cover safety. So we'll see how that plays out, but we needed bodies at safety, and that definitely helps.
Yeah. So I know and some of the stuff Napier's already done was he got the players better food and an actual parking spot. So he's improved living conditions for the players as well. So it's really cool just seeing this.
Yeah, and it's always good to see a coach improving it for the players.
It also is just baffling how, and listen, I was a fan of Dan Mullen. You know, I thank him for being a part of the 2 national championships that we were in. But I will also say, just he just wasn't a good head coach. I think he's a great offensive coordinator, just not a good head coach. So I won't slander him. But in the short amount of time, Napier has done more than probably the last 12 years, even though Mullen wasn't there for 12 years, but probably the last. Yeah, actually, I think I can say 12 years with McElwain or Mullen, and then before McElwain, and then before, I believe, Muschamp. I don't remember how long Muschamp was here for.
I was going to say Muschamp was there for a while, wasn't he?
Yeah, I know come year 4, it's a nightmare, because that's when it's just, everything just goes downhill.
Yeah. Florida got any guys that have stayed instead of going to the draft?
Bretton Cox is staying his senior year. Surprisingly, top 15 pick or top 20 first round pick, Kyrie Lam, still undecided.
He's still undecided?
He still has not decided if he is staying or if he is entering the draft. He played the bowl game, and he still has not said whether or not he will enter the draft. So it is possible he could stay his senior year, especially with the new defensive backs coach we got. It's possible.
Yeah, that's very interesting.
Which, if it does, I think that's gonna be a scary sight.
Yeah, that defense is already on the upwards.
Oh, absolutely. Put in Kamari Wilson, put in Shamar James, maybe Harold Perkins. I get most of those guys are going to be recruits, but it's also just recruits, but like freshmen. But listen, young talent of fresh talent is talent, man. It doesn't matter what grade you are or what year you are.
It doesn't matter who you are. As long as you're the best player, you're going to get on that field.
Yeah.
Yeah, Notre Dame's been very vocal with that stuff because about 15 people so far have said they're either leaving for the draft or not. Isaiah Foskey, our Viper, or what was Rover, is staying. He was arguably a first or second round pick. Surprisingly, he stayed. I think it was because Freeman was put in the head coaching position. Then you had role players that really filled in, like Houston Griffith and DJ Brown, who both play kind of part-time starting safety. Josh Lugg on the O-line, and then Jarrett Patterson to make it 4 of 5 returning O-line starters. And I think Avery Davis is staying, which is good because we need bodies at receiver. We've got 3 freshmen and Avery Davis because Kevin Austin's transferring. Or not transferring. He's going to the draft. He's not going to get drafted. But we need bodies there. And it's good he came back because I don't want to have to rely on solely freshmen. Not saying they're not reliable. I'm just saying they're not as good. And then there's somebody else I'm missing. Oh, the Adamalola twins on the defensive line who have wreaked havoc this year have also returned. So Notre Dame's getting back a good chunk of their starters from the draft. So they're staying another year, and it's going to be exciting because some of these guys were very key role players. And with how this team can be built with the freshmen, who's to say we don't fight for another college football playoff spot?
Yeah. No, never mind. I forgot. We've already had this conversation. I was going to say, I think this is the year where they extend it, but no, it's not.
But no, yeah. They extend it. I think it's next year they can extend it.
I believe so, yeah. I think it was 2023.
It'd be nice because then you get teams in a position where at least they can fight for a spot. And the debates won't change. Instead of 3 and 4, it's going to be about 7 and 8.
Oh, yes. For whatever reason, thought you were talking about records, and I got really confused on how 7-8. One, how a college team got to 7-8. Two, why they're in the playoffs. Like, where's he going with 7-8 on this? Okay, yes, that makes much more sense now.
Yeah, then it gives teams like Cincinnati and UCF a chance, and then it shows that when you put an FCS team against way superior talent, you're going to get beat.
Let's come down there with the UCF talk.
Hey, UCF was good that year, but they weren't that good.
Yes, I know, but that was also the last year they were.
That's true.
Like that. Be real, it's going to be a hot minute before UCF sees the playoffs.
Yep. It's been 4 years, and they've barely done anything since. I was going to say, they can't win Florida, so what's the next best thing? Win a bowl game?
At least they're winning something.
Hey, right now, you guys still own Florida.
Indeed we do. Indeed we do. And I don't care what anybody says.
So, who do you think's going to win in the finals of the college football playoff? Bama?
Well, you already know who my answer is.
You're going to say Bama, aren't you?
Yeah. I'm sorry. I don't see it happening.
Georgia's coming with a fire. That Michigan team.
You could have also said the exact same thing about whenever they faced them again back in 2017 or whatever year it was.
You got to remember, Georgia's going to be remembering that too. That, and this is a down year for Alabama. I mean, Georgia just walked through a Michigan team that had no push to beat them. Because Michigan, it was beat Ohio State, win the Big 12. That's what they did. They had no drive to go any further. And that was evident. So Georgia had a cakewalk just like Bama. So now they're walking into the same situation they were in a while ago, but with bigger stakes. Georgia is going to want to walk away with this just a little bit more.
Yeah, I disagree because, like how you've been saying, this is a down year for Bama. Every Bama player and coach is hearing that right now. And they have even said it during their press. They are walking in to prove people like you wrong.
It's not wrong, though. Because Bama does not look dominant this year. At least the regular season wasn't up to par.
Okay, well, Georgia also didn't look dominant this year, or Georgia looked dominant this year, and guess what? They still lost to Bama.
Bama wanted to prove themselves in that
game. And they
game.
still feel like they need to prove themselves because they do.
But now Georgia's going to go, this is an SEC rival, and this is a team that just knocked us out of our 1 seed. We're going to knock them out.
And again, same thing happened in 2017, and we saw the results of that.
I don't know. That they don't have a 3-quarterback combo like they did then either.
They also don't have a good, not Alabama, but Georgia also, their quarterback's still not the best.
Stetson Bennett never will be the best, but he's serviceable.
Exactly.
I mean,
so
he plays a Chad Henne type role. He doesn't need to be this great quarterback if the offense works.
Yes, but also Alabama, the fact that they were able to shut down the run game before, they're going to be able to do it. Listen, Will Anderson's a beast. That man is going to be a problem for years.
Yeah, but they also they're going to have to go their pass game without Mechie. That's what's going to hurt them, because Cincinnati, all they did was run the ball because that's what they could do and that's what worked, because Cincinnati couldn't stop a breeze. So
yeah, exactly.
That's all they did.
Georgia can't stop the run, then what they'll
Georgia probably will stop that run. If not, it will negate it way better than Cincinnati did.
Probably, yes, they will stop the run, but if Alabama is still able to drive the ball on Georgia, they won't need to rely on Bryce Young. And if they do need to rely on Bryce Young, he'll still be able to make those passes.
But here's the thing. I don't know if that offense is up to par like it usually is. I don't know if it's at the level it usually is to say, oh yeah, that's that I can guarantee them over Georgia.
I guess. I mean, we're both gonna disagree, but obviously, I think Alabama's got it. I don't. It'll probably end up being closer than the previous game, but yeah, I think Alabama's got it.
Yeah, it'll be close. Where are they playing it at?
Indianapolis.
I was gonna say, as long as they're not playing it like on the edge of somebody's territory, it'll be a very good neutral site game.
Yeah, I mean, yes, it will be a neutral site game, yes, but even then, I still feel like, well, even if it was in Atlanta, actually, now that I take it back, it's not like Alabama isn't only a couple hours to Atlanta.
But I don't.
Mainly because it is, because I've lived in Alabama and I know it is.
Yeah, but
Every time I leave or go to Alabama, I have to pass Atlanta.
the thing about Bama is they either travel well or they don't. There's no in between. That's the thing. Either you'll see a lot of them or not very much of them.
Yes, but this is also the national championship game.
Yeah, and it's also way harder to get tickets in general. Because everybody wants to go.
Bama fans, being Bama fans, known to get their national championship tickets ready.
I was gonna say at this point, or Bama fans probably have like custom hats that say national champions already.
Say the same thing about Georgia, and then when it doesn't happen, it'll be sweet.
I don't know. That'll be an interesting game, and
there's a reason they haven't won it since 1980, and that streak will continue tomorrow.
I don't know. I'm still hung up on the fact that Jadeveon Clowney did not learn from Florida's mistakes and threw a shoe.
Oh yeah, he was the one that threw the shoe.
Yeah.
I couldn't remember who threw the shoe. I was just like, how do you...
He threw it. I immediately thought to Marco Wilson. I was like,
I was starting to I was getting like PTSD flashbacks. I was foaming from the mouth. I was not having a good time.
I almost tweeted you, and then I was like, well, I don't want to add on to his suffering. Florida's already bad enough right now.
I did tweet it.
Yeah.
You're like, I didn't want to tweet you. I literally did tweet it. I thought it was hilarious as I was foaming from the mouth, but I was like, all the Florida fans are getting Vietnam flashbacks over here. Like, no.
Yeah.
Marco Wilson can't hurt us anymore.
Is he still with Florida, or did he depart?
No, he's in Arizona.
He transferred?
No, he's with the Cardinals.
Oh, he's with the Cardinals.
Yeah, they actually drafted him.
They drafted him?
Yeah, he was like a 4th-round pick.
Who in the right mind would draft Marco Wilson?
Whoever the GM is for the Cardinals.
I was going to say, that seems like a Bill O'Brien type move.
Oh, maybe in Jacksonville. I don't know. If you're a Jags fan, I'm sorry.
I was going to say, I feel bad for anybody who's a Detroit, Jacksonville, or a New York fan.
Yeah.
Then again, you may not be able to call the Jets and the Giants New York very much longer because they're getting sued for it.
Oh, they are?
Yeah. Apparently there's a suit over them calling themselves New York because they're in New Jersey.
That's stupid.
It is what it is. If it gets New York off their name, I'm happy. If not, I don't care.
That's just stupid.
Although after that, I can't tell New Jersey Giants jokes.
That to me is like the same as cancel culture. It's just it's stupid.
Yeah. Although someone
been called the New York Giants and Jets for however many years, they're not gonna stop. No.
Yeah, and I mean San Fran doesn't play in San Fran. They play in what? Santa Clara?
I don't know. I don't pay attention to California.
I think they play in Santa Clara because they got kicked out at one point because of something. I don't remember. I don't know. It was California problems. Something we don't have over here.
Again, I don't pay attention to California. California just makes me angry.
I was gonna say, what else do we have to go over? Has Florida made any coaching moves?
Yes, it they have, and I've lost my I lost my phone. All right, never mind. I didn't lose the list, but I did because I lost my phone, but I got it now, so I have the list. So, like I said, this man, Billy Napier, is literally building an army. So the only positions that need to be filled. And actually, let me make sure that this list is. Okay, I believe it is updated. The only positions left to be filled are offensive lineman coach. That's not true. Oh, that was the assistant. Okay, never mind. So this is true. The only positions is offensive lineman coach, defensive lineman coach, inside linebackers coach. I was about to say inside defensive lineman again. And then a co-defensive coordinator. So the on-the-field coaches we have right now is running back Jabbar Jaluki, who came from Louisiana, University of Louisiana. Wide receivers Kerry Colbert, who came from USC. Tight ends coach William Piegler, who came from Mississippi State University or Michigan State. Assistant lineman coach Darnell Stapleton, who played for Pittsburgh in the NFL and was a Super Bowl champion. Co-defensive coordinator / safety coach Patrick Toney. Offensive outside linebacker Mike Peterson, who played for Florida back in the 96 championships, and is in the Gators Ring of Hall of Fame, and played, I forget who he played with. I don't remember if he won a Super Bowl or not. And then cornerback coach Corey Raymond, who made DBU over at LSU. Off the field support, strengths coach / assistant head coach. Get the popcorn. This list is long. Again, this man is building an army. Off the field support staff, strengths coach / assistant head coach Mark Hawk. Assistant strength / conditioning Carmichael Dunbar. Assistant strength / conditioning Edward Thompson. Sports and health Tony Hill. Director of sports nutrition Kelsey Gomez. Offensive analysis / QBs Ryan O'Hara. Offensive analysis Joe Hamilton. Offensive analysis Nick McDonald. Linebacker defensive analysis Jamar Chaney. Quality control Kyle Kasakevkis. I don't know how to say that. Quality control CG Wilford. Quality control Braxton Morris. Advanced / self-scouting Paul Pascaloni. Assistant AD of recruiting Katie Turner, who is quite attractive, by the way, just letting y'all know that. On-campus recruiting and events Bree Wade. Bree Wade. Director of recruiting innovation Doug Domingui. I don't know how to say that. NIL director Marcus Walker. Research / evaluation Andrew Burnett. Creative media Lexi Turner. Director of college personnel Bird Sherrill. Director of player personnel Jacob LaFrance. Director of player athletic development Joe Thanos. Oh my god. Senior director of player / alumni relation Vernell Brown. Assistant director of logistics Ashore Pira. Assistant player department Frank Ogas. And that is the list.
He really is hiring an army.
Now, pop quiz. Name off everybody I just named.
Oh, I definitely can't.
I literally forgot like half of the people, and I would have to go find that list again on my phone. But yeah, no, that man is literally building an army.
was gonna say he overhauled, and he really overhauled.
Yeah, it's like there was one meme of Billy Napier having a staff meeting in like 2023, and it's literally the picture of the Senate from Star Wars, how they have like that floating chair.
Yeah,
where they had that meeting. I was like, this man is literally building an army.
that's awesome. And then Notre Dame kept the tradition going of stealing coaches from Cincinnati, stealing Brian Mason, their special teams coordinator, who came into coaching. Who came into coaching the year before Brian Kelly actually left Cincinnati, but he spent 5 years at Cincy and was key in their role, or in their getting to their 13-0 record. I was going to say, I'm trying to remember some of the stuff off the top of my head. The special teams unit was first with block punts and kicks with 6 in the nation, and then was one of the top in punt and kick returning, which is good because we definitely need somebody who can do that. And then he had punter James Smith for 3 years, and he was a couple of years, and he was a 3-time All-American and a finalist for the Ray Guy in 2018, and also earned spots on 2 All-America squads. And Mason has been coaching for a while. He's jumped from college to college to college before Cincinnati. That's interesting. But he's not the only addition. You had, I was going to say, if my list will load up, because the one time I'm prepared.
Let's hope it's not as long as mine.
It's definitely not. There's still some hires to be made, but there was the hiring of...
Yeah, we still got hires to be made too, but we're going to have like 3 more quality assistant control coaches.
Probably. But another signing was, I'm hoping this is the O-line coach, was O-line coach Harry Heinstand. I guarantee I said that wrong. He was a former O-line coach for Notre Dame from 2011.
Somebody.
2011 to 2017. Hey, there are a lot of snowflakes out there. I probably did.
Yeah, absolutely. That's why they ain't watching this one.
Yeah, we would have been canceled a long time ago if they were.
Oh, yeah. 100%.
But he was the coach from 2012 to 2017, not 2011. Jeez. And he arrived following a 2-year stint at Tennessee. And
disgusting.
He's coached guys like Nick Martin, Chris Watt, Ronnie Stanley, Big Q or Quentin Nelson, and Mike McGlinchey.
Is that the long lost 4th Watt brother?
Apparently. I don't know. And in his final year, they won the coveted Joe Moore Award. And they haven't pulled it off since. And they're going to do it again. Because Michigan had to hold our temporary trophy, and now we're going to take it back. But he landed guys like Tommy Kramer and Liam Eichenberg, who ended up being drafted last year, and Robert Hainsley. But he left to go coach in Chicago with Matt Nagy.
Oof, that ain't gonna last long.
That worked about as well as you'd think it did.
That worked about as well as... Never mind. I can't think of anything.
And then the last coach, which I don't remember. I never read up on this, if he was actually a linebackers coach or not. But it was announced a while ago, and I didn't jump on the news till very late, that Notre Dame was hiring former Ohio State linebacker James Laurinaitis. I guarantee I said that wrong too. And I was going to say, I don't remember what he did. This article doesn't list much for me, but he did coach or play with Marcus Freeman, and he is a former Lot Trophy winner, Butkus Award winner, and Nagurski Trophy winner. And he's former 3-time All-American, 3-time All-Big Ten, and he had a long 8-year career in the NFL. So, guy's talented. He joined the support staff, and hopefully more good linebackers guys centered around the linebackers come in, because we stacked up on linebackers. Now we just need the coaches.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I definitely agree. is looking in. Like I said, I don't remember if anybody from Notre Dame played in the All-American Bowl, but there were some of the recruits that look interesting. And then yeah, like you were saying with the linebacker, you got the players, now you got to get the coaches.
Yeah, and from what I remember, if the coach we just brought in isn't a linebackers coach, we need linebackers, receivers, and I think we might need one more offensive position. But that's been thrust more into the hands of coordinator Tommy Reese on the offense. He's got a lot more anonymity at that role, and it definitely is shown. And it's helped already with the income of an offensive line coach who has a very good resume and used to coach for Notre Dame alongside Reese. And he coached when Reese was playing his last 2 years, 2012 and 2013.
Nice. Yeah, so it's definitely going to be interesting year for both of our teams.
Yeah, there is a lot of off season, but there's also a lot of recruiting to be done. Both our teams still need to fill a hole or two.
I was about to say February. We got February coming, which I believe
It's like the second or third week of February.
It's a Wednesday. Hold on, because I just looked this up. It's always on a Wednesday, so I believe February 2nd is the National Signing Day. So that's definitely going to be interesting. I'm expecting a lot of names to come through, and I'm expecting a lot of twists. So I do want to bring up former head coach of Notre Dame, Brian Kelly, did apparently come out and state that he did in fact fake a Southern accent. I want your thoughts on that.
I mean, didn't we already all know this without him saying it?
I mean, yes, but I found it funny that he came out and
he didn't need to come out. He didn't need to tell us. We already know. We already are making the jokes. We don't care.
Yeah, it was. Well, now y'all ain't got to worry about him, and now he can ruin LSU for years to come.
Yep. I guarantee he's going to tank LSU.
Because I also do find it very funny that Trevor Etienne, he obviously, it made sense that he didn't want to go to Clemson because he wanted to make his own legacy and not live in his brother's shadow. But his family is in Louisiana. So I do find it very, very funny that it was Florida that he went to rather than LSU. I mean, despite family being there. Granted, it's not that long of a drive, but still.
Yeah, LSU, when Brian Kelly moved in, they pushed away a decent amount of recruits, and they even had some guys transfer out, like Max Johnson, the quarterback. So they've had a couple guys just go, "Oh, you're the new guy? All right, bye, have fun."
Right, deuces.
Yeah, basically, and I don't know. He's gonna have to build that from the bottom up, and well, he did get our assistant strength and conditioning coach. It's not our actual strength and conditioning coach. He's not the same guy who helped build this program up from that position. So that and Brian Kelly leans on two major factors. Can his coordinators recruit, and is his special strength and conditioning coach good? And that will be seen because Brian Kelly's been like, ooh, let me try to get this guy, this guy, this guy, this guy, and this guy.
Ooh, piece of candy.
Yeah. Anybody from Notre Dame besides Brian Polian, our special teams coordinator, said, you know what? I think I'm good here. That and I think one or two other coaches. But
no, I don't think I will.
And then he tried to pull a former Notre Dame running back who was jumping around on a coaching staff here and there. And he said, no, I think I'm good. And he's thrown hook, line, and sinker. And a lot of guys have just said, no, that job does not look as good as something else over here.
Or just staying put.
Yeah. So, I don't know. Yeah. I feel like he's going to tank at least the first couple of years till he can either find a foothold or get fired. Because he may be getting paid money, but I have no doubt LSU will swallow his contract if they need to. They're in the SEC.
Yeah. Although but they did kind of have to do that with Brian, what's its face, Coach O. So I don't know. You got to wonder.
Yeah. I don't know. That situation was weird because it was mutual.
It's just been a weird football season.
Yeah, it was mutual, but there was reasoning behind it. Like, because I think he was with co-eds and that whole situation, and it was like a whole jumble.
It's been a weird off season. I think definitely. Words are hard. I think definitely come Monday, it's gonna be, when college is over, it's gonna be like, all right, that was the weirdest season, but it's over now. So
yeah, it's gonna be like, all right, that's done. Can we have a normal year? Then again, the NFL hasn't exactly been normal either.
Yeah, well, that's always gonna happen. I feel like you're always gonna have something crazy in the NFL, but college definitely has been weird. It has not been. I don't want to say not pleasant, because it has been for some, but it's definitely just been like, this is weird. This is not.
Yeah, with a lot of ranked teams, it was like, all right, so here's a loss, here's a loss, here's a loss, here's a loss, and it was just like they were dishing it out like a millionaire dishing out money. I mean, it was like Jim Irsay at a preseason game. There was money going everywhere. So I don't know. It's gonna be weird trying to rebound and go into a normal year.
Yeah, and it's not even like, it's not even like, oh, well, that's just because certain teams are good now. It wasn't even like that. It was just too many weird things happened. Like, there were just so many upsets by teams that just are not and will not be good. But it's been weird.
Yeah, I mean, you had a good 30 or so ranked losses in 5 weeks.
Yeah, it's just there were just a lot of upsets.
Yeah,
and it was not.
I mean, the first 1 or 2 weeks, having anybody from like your 15th to your 25th get knocked out, that's normal. That happens every year. They overstate certain teams, like University of Lafayette, but there was a few teams that I felt were over hyped by the committee, or by the AP, and others that it was just like, well, you shouldn't have lost, but oh well,
here you are.
Fun. Yep, because the AP is way more harsh than the coaches poll.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Coaches poll, it's like, did you lose to a quality team? You only drop like 3 or 4. AP, it's like, did you lose by 1 score? You get to get dropped about 15 spots. And whoever it is gets in the rankings. It doesn't matter who it is. It doesn't matter
unless
if they
it's
suck.
Alabama.
Yeah. They favor Alabama heavily.
Yeah, because it's like, oh, you were a hard-fighting team against the number 1 team, and you only lost because of a stupid 2-point conversion play. That was really, really freaking stupid. And because the refs, kind of held Alabama's hands, to the basement with you.
Yeah, and they were like,
I'm not bitter.
They go, Alabama, you're fine. You're not going to fall out of the top 4. You don't even get a slap on the wrist.
We still would have been trash, but
it's like, but you'll handicap teams like Auburn or Oklahoma State. They tried to keep Cincinnati out of it for so long, just because we don't like you.
Well, yes, but we also saw when a Power 5 conference meets the SEC.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean Alabama can just go, all right, let me barely lose to one of my rivals and then or barely win against one of my rivals and then jump multiple spots. Why?
Yes, I get that, but I do think a good chunk of SEC teams on a normal year, not like this year, could put on that same performance Alabama did against Cincinnati.
Yeah, but that's because Cincinnati's an FCS team. I mean, you could have walked Coastal Carolina, and then they still would have beat them.
That's what it was. Or FCS, not Power 5.
That's the thing. They try to keep Cincy out, which I kind of understand, and I think they, at the end of the day, they just said, you know what? Fine, we'll make an example of them. You guys complain about UCF and their undefeated year. We'll see what
Right.
happens when
You'll be the
Cincinnati goes
cannon
in.
fodder.
Yeah, you'll be the example, and
You'll be the sacrificed lamb.
And Cincinnati fans were going, oh, we're going to the college football playoff, blah, blah. They were super cocky. I'm like, bro, sit down. You're an FCS team.
What's that one Kendrick Lamar song? Sit down. Be humble.
Yeah. I was like, congratulations. You beat a Notre Dame team that needed to fix a lot of things, and then that's what set them straight. You still suck.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Cincy was the team that Notre Dame lost to. That's not me rubbing it in. That's me because I just genuinely could not remember.
And
I'm in no position to rub anything in after this season.
And I remember saying, because I argued with a Cincinnati fan about it, they're like, yeah, you guys, or we beat you guys. I go, yeah, but we beat Wisconsin, USC, UNC, and a bunch of other schools.
Of C's.
Who have you beat? Yeah. I go, who have you beat outside of like low tier FBS or high tier FCS? He just looked at me. I'm like, yeah, go
Good
sit
day,
down.
sir.
Yeah. I was like, go sit down with your Desmond Ridder. I'll keep Jack Cohen. I don't care if I don't like him. I'll keep him.
But I will take Sauce Gardner. That I will take.
Yeah. Anybody's crazy not to take Sauce Gardner.
I will take Kobe Bryant.
Gardner might go high in the draft this year.
I want Bryant so badly. I don't even care if he's just depth piece. I want him.
Get him in like make him the Kayvon version in this draft. Except he'll actually live up to his potential.
I think he goes third because Bryant's got a lot of potential.
You don't think he's around a fourth? You think he's a third?
Yeah, I would absolutely take that man in the third.
Yeah, I don't know. It depends on where the teams see him.
I guess yes, but that's one of the guys where I would look at and just what's its face? I would put a scout at because I assume there's going to be scouts at Cincy's pro day, whether it's looking at Sauce Gardner or Desmond Ridder for whatever dumb reason, or what's the defensive end like Malik Kyles or whatever it is. It's something like that, but yeah, there's definitely going to be eyes on guys like that and Kobe Bryant. So. But yeah, I would take Kobe Bryant, and then I'll be like, hey, here's your number 8 jersey. Since he wore 8 to honor Kobe, I'd be like, oh, shit, yeah, I'll give him an 8 jersey. That's what I did in Madden for franchise. I drafted him and gave him 8.
Yeah,
I have him as a backup right now, and then whenever Slay retires, Gowan's going to go in the QB1 spot, and then Kobe's going to be in QB2 or CB2.
I'm still on the boat of quarterbacks are going to go high again. Hamilton will drop. Hutchinson will drop. Trade up. Get about
I'm hoping.
around.
I've mentioned plenty of times. I will trade a first from next year, and obviously one of the first for this year to move up.
I'll even trade 2 firsts from this year for first.
If I have to, yes, but I'm fine reaching into the cookie jar for next year.
Yeah, I am too, because when's the next chance you get for a potential
when's the next time you get a chance like that guy?
When's the last time you've had a safety go top 5? Over a decade, probably?
I think so, yeah.
But he's, with the way he plays and the way he's built and the way he acts and everything, the way he's a leader, I don't think you can pass that on. I don't think this is a guy where Philly can go, oh, no, we won't look into getting him because, we need to solidify safety. Even if he's not there, if Hutchinson's still there, that's a score.
Yeah, I have mentioned it already. I don't see how we don't, even if we trade back with like our 3rd pick and we trade back to get more or like get a first next year, I don't see how we stay put with any of our picks.
Yeah. And then even if, let's say trade up.
I will be utterly shocked.
Yeah, let's say we trade up and Kyle Hamilton and Hutchinson aren't there, worst comes to worst, you can just get like Ojavo or somebody and go, okay, we still got a D lineman high, and
I feel like you don't need to trade up for him though. I feel like he'll be in the
yeah,
range that we're at.
I think he can even fall into late first, depending on
Yeah,
how
because
his
right now we're
board
at
goes.
15, 16, and then depending on the outcome, either way, both the Raiders and the Chargers have better records than Dolphins and Colts, so they'll drop one, so it'll end up being 14, 15, I believe.
Yeah, and Ojavo's projected around 16. And if quarterbacks jump up the board, like they probably will, they'll drop
Yeah.
even further.
Oh yeah, I was gonna say you're gonna have guys like jump up for Pickett, even though he got injured. Corral.
Yeah, you're gonna. This is a year where you're gonna see teams try to reach on quarterbacks. If not, they're gonna try to go receiver high because there's a couple good receivers here that they're gonna want. And what are teams gonna go for first? They're gonna go for the playmakers.
Yeah.
And Thibodeau may not even go one anymore. There's debate on that too.
I imagine it's gonna end up being
It's either gonna be Corral or Pickett.
No, I feel like I don't know, because Jags have the first overall, so no, I think it's gonna end up being Hutchinson.
Actually, no, they do have it. I think they get him another weapon. I think they get him a receiver.
I don't know. I don't see a receiver going in the first.
Actually, yeah. Well, then why not get a corner if you're Jacksonville?
Because
why not go
you
Sauce
have
Gardner?
Josh? Imagine Aiden Hutchinson and Josh Allen together on that D in the front seven.
But you've got. Why not put somebody alongside Ramsey?
Because you don't have Ramsey anymore.
Oh, that's right. Why do I think they have Ramsey? Why not put someone in that cornerback room? You've got nobody. They've had nobody since Bouye and Ramsey left.
True, but I don't know if Stingley is worth the first overall. He's good. I don't see him.
It's possible they trade down too. I think if somebody calls them up with a good enough offer, they go down.
You could see somebody trade up for the first overall to get that QB. So I don't know. It's going to be an interesting draft. I would take Hamilton first overall. I'm going to trade up to do that if I'm Philly, but if I was in that position, I absolutely would take Hamilton first overall.
Yeah. And the first couple teams don't really need a quarterback. A couple of them. And then certain teams will probably get a veteran quarterback on the move. But one interesting thing is, does Russ leave Seattle?
I imagine.
Because if he does, they're going to be looking to go up quick. Because they've still got a decent amount of pieces around Russ. They're not going to want to waste it.
Yes, but I also know they're going to have to reach into next year's that because they don't have a first-round pick.
Yeah. But I think they'll do whatever it takes to get a quarterback if Russ leaves. And I don't think they'll try to go for a vet. Deshaun's not going to move. And depending on where Rodgers, or depending on what happens with Rodgers, he'll probably go to Denver.
True.
He'll go to Denver, dethrone Bridgewater. Bridgewater will continue the journeyman dream, and Drew Lock will get fired off into whatever river they have.
I don't know. I can see. There's a lot of speculation of Tua might have played his last game as a Dolphin, so I don't know.
Yeah, that's definitely possible.
There's going to be a lot of interesting things happening.
There's a lot of interesting storylines going into this year's draft.
Yeah. Too many questions, not enough answers.
Yep. Especially with quarterback movements this year.
Yeah. And again, it is still interesting that Kyrie Long, going back to this being about Florida and Notre Dame, has not said if he's declared or not. So
yeah. And another interesting thing is what if Rodgers really does win another Super Bowl? Does that make him stay in Green Bay? Does it make him retire? Does it make him leave? And I think at this point, it's possible for anything.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think he might retire if he wins another Super Bowl. He'll go, all right, great career, but I need rest.
True.
Did you hear that Phillip Rivers got a call from Indy if Wentz wasn't going to be able to play last week?
Was it that he got a call, or was it that he was saying he would
He got a
come
call.
out? Oh. I thought it was saying like he would come out to do it if
They
need
called
be.
him up and said, "Hey, would you want to play quarterback in case Carson's not here?" And then I can guarantee you, Irsay was like, "No, I drafted Sam Ellinger for a reason. You are going to play him."
Right? Yeah.
I don't know. I don't believe in Ellinger right now.
Colts fans don't believe in Wentz right now.
I don't believe in anybody in that room.
Which, we said, told you so.
Hey, Wentz's downfall is big games.
Indeed it is. Indeed.
Except 2017, but that was the exception, not the rule.
Yeah.
I was going to say, do we want to cover basketball quick?
Mike White sucks.
Oh, we're back on this train.
I don't understand how that man has a job.
Oh.
I'll admit, he fooled me. He fooled me. And then he removed the blinds, and I realized I was just in another trap, and realized that he still sucks.
Oh, what happened now?
He's not a good coach. I don't understand how he keeps getting. I don't understand how he still has his job. The losses that we have had are just bad. We lost to a team who did not have a single win until they played us. It's
Really?
that's just happened. Yeah, that's happened like that twice, but it's the losses that we have just been bad. So yeah, I'm pretty sure we're 0-2 right now in the SEC, I think. Because we lost to Alabama and then Auburn. So yeah, it's time for Mike White to just go. It's been time. It's been like 4 years times, but for whatever reason, we still have him.
I'm happy because with Notre Dame, ever since the loss to Indiana, they've kicked into high gear. I mean, beat Pittsburgh, beat UNC, beat Georgia Tech all in a row. And they're actually doing something. Which, more than I can say for my Syracuse counterparts, because I actually want to go watch one of their games versus Notre Dame, because for the one time they're actually in my area. But, because when Notre Dame basketball plays Syracuse basketball, they only play each other once in the Dome, I think. And then the one time they play each other in football, they're actually in the Dome this time, thankfully.
But yeah, no, it's been interesting basketball. I'm somewhat already ready for it to be over with.
Yeah, and you forget how long of a season basketball really is till you get back into it. Especially when football season starts to come to a close. And you're like, wait, we signed up for this?
Yeah, it's just it's been I can't even think of words. My brain is shutting down right now.
All right, so do we have any more topics we want to go over?
Not really much for topics, but I do want to read out this tweet. If Eagles can pull out the W versus the Bucks, they got to go to Green Bay. Really giving Hurts a baptism by fire on the playoffs with that path. They really are. Like,
I mean,
Listen, the Bucks are. I've already purchased tickets to the Bucks game. I'm going to the Bucks game.
Oh, you gotta take some pictures then for the podcast.
Absolutely, I will. But like, they really have thrown Hurts in the fire. Like,
Yeah.
granted, yes, this is it's the playoffs. Everything is different now. You know, we've seen Green Bay choke. I think the Bucks are even beatable, but it's like, man, we really have thrown Hurts back to the fire, haven't we? Which, granted, this just kind of shows what all we need. I don't know, man. It's just been. It's gonna be interesting. If we win though, I don't care what happened. I don't want to. Don't take it like, oh, I don't care if we win or lose. Obviously, I want to win everything. But like, if we beat the Bucks, man, in the playoffs, which is very possible, I don't think anybody has any shit to say to us.
Yeah, and I'm at the stage where it's just I'm just happy to be here. Because when we were coming out saying
I'm here now. Yes, I'm here now, but damn it, I want to win.
Yeah. It's like when we came out of this, a lot of us were saying around 0.500, and people were going, no, it's not going to happen, yada, yada, yada. Well, the same Giants fans and everyone else that said, oh, Philly's not going to do anything, we're in the playoffs. I'm just happy to be here.
True. But also, yes, but man, it's been a wild, crazy ride.
Yeah. Then again, when the season's over, it's going to be, what, 2 months, month and a half, 2 months at least.
Yeah.
Actually, more like 2.5, 3 of draft speculation. And then it's just going to be about 3 more months of just sitting idle, debating, and waiting for the training camp to start.
True. I definitely do think, though, week 18, I feel like it needed to be optional because there were so many, like the Washington Giants game. Who really wanted to watch that? Who bought tickets to go there? Like, if you are in no way, if you're already eliminated from the playoffs, bro, just don't play. Please just don't play. Like, or just don't televise it. But like, I don't know, man. I had this conversation with my dad, just be like, week 18 needs to just be optional, you know, like.
Yeah, because, I mean, our game was like a tank bowl. We just said, all right, backups go out there, starters, have fun on the bench, just doing whatever.
Right. Kelsey, take your snap, get off. Smith, get 40 yards, get off. All right, there we go. We're good.
It's like everyone, when you're on the bench, just do whatever. You can talk with the fans. You can sit next to the stands. Just
I was about to say, literally, hop up in the stand. Well, don't hop up because there are going to be crazy fans and security won't be able to get to you. But like, yeah, literally, talk to fans, sign stuff. You know, now's your chance.
Just don't beat up anybody. Don't start fights.
Yeah, I'm looking at you, Fletcher. I don't know. I couldn't think of who would have started a fight on the team.
The first guy to start a fight would probably just be the O-line defending one of their guys.
Honestly, after watching last night, the first person to start a fight would have been Milton Williams.
Yeah, because he was destroying people.
Whew. And everybody laughed at me when I said it was a good pick.
I didn't.
Listen, I'm right about these things. I should just be the GM. Now that I'm actually going to see the Eagles, I can finally talk to Jeff in person and be like, Jeff, why you not returning my calls, bro?
I think we need to call for Sora for GM.
Yeah. I want that shit on billboards. I want that on blimps. I don't know. People still look at blimps, but you know.
Do people still fly blimps?
Goodyear. Oh, hold up. Florida added Director of Sports Health Football Paul Silvestri. Add another one to the Army.
Oh, no. Next thing you know, Florida's going to show up to the field and they'll have twice as many personnel as they do players.
I was about to say, one player goes down, we're just going to look at the personnel and be like, you filling him in or...
Going to look at one of your GAs and go, hey, you ready to suit up?
Yeah. We're going to look at our strength and coordinate. Looking at our strength and coordinating guy, the dude is like, he's really short. He's maybe like 5'7", 5'8", but that dude's probably like 225 pounds of just pure muscle.
He's built like Boston Scott. except a little bigger.
No, like Boston Scott would be a toothpick to him. Like that dude got built.
Imagine running into that guy coming out of the
Like
backfield.
the dude is like, when you tell your kids don't take steroids, otherwise you'll end up like that. Like that's what you would look like, except that's all natural. That's not steroids.
Yeah,
That
It's
is
the guy-
all natural.
it's the guy she tells you not to worry about.
That's the guy that in the cartoon, whenever you walk through a skinny doorway, you don't fit. The wall just
Yeah.
breaks into the outline of him.
Just like that wasn't me. I didn't make that me-shaped
Yeah.
hole in the wall.
I would not want to be a player, piss off or do something bad that pisses off the coach, and then walk back to the sideline to see him standing there. I'd be like,
I'd probably be the first one to be like, "Hey, can you come back me up in case somebody tries to fight me?" Because, yeah,
I would be like, no.
it's like if like you were hanging out with Jordan Mailata, and it's like, "Hey, can you be like my bodyguard in case someone tries to
Right.
fight me?" Because Mailata would just be like, "Yeah, I got you," and then just destroy whoever is trying to fight you. That whole offensive line probably would. I mean, we've seen what Jason Peters almost pulled the offensive line into.
Yeah, it took me a minute to remember. I was like, wait a minute, Jason Peters.
He
I was
got
like,
them into a couple fights because he
yeah.
he
I was
he
like,
would,
Jason Peters, he wasn't on the team this year.
he would go back and forth with somebody on the defense, and they're like about to fight, and the whole offensive line's like, "Well, we got to back him up because
I ain't taking
he
this
plays
shit.
alongside us." They're like, whether we like it or not, we're backing him up.
True.
All right, so do we want to call it there?
Yeah.
So I guess it's going to be the end of the Holy Gator. We should be back next week, and hopefully we can get this up and running on both channels.
Hopefully. Unless the Eagles is a night game, in which case it will not be back. Unless it's on Sunday. Or actually, never mind. We can just be with Saturday. Never mind.
Yeah. And hopefully your internet doesn't throw a fit like it did earlier.
God, that was ridiculous.
Did it really take 2 hours?
Yeah.
I
I literally watched the entire, well, not, I say 2 hours. I watched the rest of the Niners-Rams game, which was about 3 minutes left in the third quarter. I came upstairs, Wi-Fi still wasn't working.
Wow.
But it was working. It was working for my, I don't know what it is. It was working for my mother, though, who is streaming something on her laptop in the next room over.
No one ever said Spectrum was good.
Well, I think we're going to move offices. My dad and I are going to switch offices from upstairs to downstairs so I can actually plug into the box.
Yeah, that'll definitely be better.
Which is going to be hella interesting looking at everything I have in my room. In my office, that's going to be hella interesting. Plus, I'll be able to sleep on the futon, so I'll just have my entire like gaming setup, computer, all that, and then I'll just have this tiny little couch futon to sleep on. I'll no longer go up to my room. I'll be like, you know what? I'm just going to crash here.
Where's the 12 gauge go? Under the futon?
12, all the weapons are probably going to go in my, I'm going to have my girl over. She's going to be like, why is it lumpy? I'm going to be like, don't ask questions. I'm going to be like, don't ask questions. She's like,
you said you had a rifle? Where is it?
She's like, is that a rifle? Or are you just happy? It's a rifle. I'm happy to see you, but it's a rifle. I'm going to just be like, listen. She's like, why does it feel like a 12 gauge? Don't ask questions. Just don't.
Why is there ammo over on the table? No reason.
You don't want to look at it. Or not look at it. You don't want to know.
I feel bad for any home intruder that comes anywhere near your block.
Is that a banana clip? No. No. Oh, what's funny is we got one of those Ring doorbells, and the office is right by the front door. So I literally see anybody suspicious there, I can just grab the 12 gauge, wipe by the door, and just be like, ahem. Or just open up the window, peek out, and just be like, ahem.
Show up in the window and go, hi, how are you? You want to say hello to my friend, 12 gauge?
Hi, how are you?
Yeah, but
just open up the window, be like, you must be one stupid motherfucker to break into this house.
Yeah.
Did you not see the Trump flag outside? Come on now.
Did you not see the Trump flag? Did you not see the 18 other flags?
Did you not see my warning sign? No warning shot. Due to ammo shortage, there will be no warning shot.
Didn't you see my sign? If you can read this, you're in range.
You can read this. It's too late.
Yup.
If you see a red dot, I don't have a cat.
It's like, oh, okay, well, then what did I? It's like he notices, hey, you got some nice driveway markers. Those aren't driveway markers.
Yeah.
Oh, what are they? Motion sensors.
Right.
That would be funny, but hopefully we don't get canceled for that.
Right.
There'll be somebody, but I guess that'll be the end of another successful stream, and hopefully Florida hires a lot more people to be in their army.
Bro, I can't keep reading that list, man. I'm gonna run out of breath.
The list will extend beyond until infinity.
Oh God.
But I guess that'll be it, and we'll be back next week.
Indeed.
Peace.